Justified sin. The first rays of dawn swept over the red earth of Ketu, painting the sky with soft strokes of gold. But for a boy named Eo, the light brought no warmth. His story began with silence, the kind that follows loss too great for a child to understand. His mother, once the melody of his home, was gone. His father, once the strength of the household, withered in grief until even his shadow faded. Eo was barely 3. He could not grasp why his father's courtyard, once filled with laughter and footsteps, now echoed only with whispers. The very elders who once shared from his father's table now turned away. The land, the cattle, the treasures his parents left behind, all were seized by distant relatives. And the child? The child was left with nothing. They branded him unfortunate. Some claimed his presence brought bad fortune. None wanted the weight of raising him. At night, Eo curled beneath the mango tree, shivering as hunger twisted in his belly. He clutched a broken god, the only thing he could call his own. Too small to fight. Too young to speak against their judgment. All he knew was rejection, all he tasted was loneliness. But then, destiny shifted. On a sweltering afternoon, Baba Tond, a humble farmer, spotted the boy by the roadside. His heart ached at the sight, tiny fingers wrapped around the cracked gourd, hollow eyes staring at nothing. With no hesitation, he lifted Eo into his arms. His voice, steady and warm, whispered, "You will not be lost. From today, you are mine." From that day, Eo was no longer alone. Years of growth. Time moved forward, and with it, the boy grew. Under Babaton's guidance, Eo's frail body grew strong, and his spirit, though scarred, remained gentle. He learned to till the soil, to labor honestly, to treat people with respect even when they offered him none. But deep inside, a quiet truth bound, I am more than what they called me. I carry a name. I carry a legacy. I have a right. The return of whispers. One fateful season, the past returned. News spread through the village, disputes had broken out over the very lands that once belonged to his father. Greedy relatives fought among themselves, each grasping for a share of what was never theirs. The whispers that had once condemned Eo now rose again. Only this time, Eo was no longer a helpless child. He was a man. Encouraged by Babatond, he chose to speak. He stood before the gathered elders and relatives, his voice trembling but his gaze unwavering. "These lands are mine. My father's blood runs in my veins. You turned me away when I was a child, but today I stand before you, ready to reclaim what belongs to me." Laughter erupted. Mockery spilled like water. "You," they jeered. "A wanderer dares speak of inheritance. You were never meant to belong." The words cut deep, but Eo did not waver. The test of character. Instead of meeting hate with hate, Eo chose another path. When famine struck, and hunger pressed upon the village, it was Eo who opened his storehouse and fed those who mocked him. When illness swept through, it was Eo who carried water to the weak, who tended the weary with patience. Slowly, hearts began to shift. The villagers, once blinded by pride, could no longer deny what they saw, a man whose strength lay not in vengeance, but in compassion. One by one, those who had scorned him fell silent. The proud lowered their heads. And the same mouths that once cursed his name began to whisper in awe. "This boy we rejected has become the man who saved us. His cause is just. His love is greater than our wrongs." Restoration. At last, the inheritance was restored. But by then, the land itself was no longer the true prize. Eo had won something far greater, the honor of his parents' name, the dignity of his own spirit, and the soul of the community that had once cast him away. Tears flowed, hearts softened, families reconciled. Where there had been bitterness, there was now healing. Where there had been greed, there was now gratitude. And so, what began with rejection ended with restoration. Eo's life became a living testimony, that even when people wrong you, even when injustice steals what is yours, choosing love over bitterness can redeem not only your story, but the story of those around you. It was, indeed, a justified sin, the sin of a people who cast away a child, transformed by the love of the very one they rejected.